Well, thanks. Hello, my beautiful friends. I've got a question for you. What do you do when there's a game just came out and you have a lot of people asking you if you're going to be playing it or reviewing it, what your thoughts are on it, but you're not really sure if it's your cup of tea and you're not really sure if like an impressions video could really stand on its own as a whole video, but you notice that two games actually fit that description that came out very close to each other. What do? I'll give you the answer. You do a double feature. This is a double feature impressions video of both Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania and Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. I'm a problem solver. What can I say? I listen to Noggin. I listen to Loxton over on Noggin. He says, always use your noggin. That's what I do. Always using it. So we're going to start things off with Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, and before I really get started, I want to give a huge thanks to Sega. They provided me with a copy of the game and this beautiful gift box that you are seeing the contents of right here. This has all sorts of fun stuff. It had little Ai and Gon pins. I got an awesome Ai hat. Look at that. Awesome. Adorable. Banana chips for eating, banana candle for smelling and burning, a little banana saver, like an actual, you put like real bananas in there. This is gonna legitimately get used in my household, I tell you. A little poster thing, some nice art, and of course the special edition of the game, which comes with a physical copy of the game and also an art book. Look at all this stuff. It's incredible. Sega, you are so generous, and I thank you so much. This was very awesome. What a pleasant surprise. So, on to the impressions of Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. I don't like this. I don't like Monkey Ball. It's you know what? It's not my cup of tea. I have never played a Super Monkey Ball game in my life. Ever, and it's another one of those ones, it's 20 years old now. I've always seen it, I've always wondered about it, I've always heard it was really good. Just never got around to playing one myself. And now that I have, I definitely see that it's just not my thing. You know what I mean? But there's a whole lot of good about this, though. Don't skip ahead just yet. Let me get into the good stuff first. Like, this package is pretty darn cool. You know, the UI, the menus and everything are really slick. And, there's a lot of, there seems to be a good amount of content here, a lot of different modes, and of course, this is a remaster of multiple games, so you get, like, hundreds of levels and all these, it's a lot. It is a lot for Super Monkey Ball fans, I'm sure. Right away, it really does feel like a lot of love was put into this, especially because, and you got, like, costumes and stuff, and I know they're coming out with, like, paid DLC later, but I was really surprised to see that, like, no, you can just buy, like, Sonic and all these other, like, special characters, just right there in the store with, like, in-game money, and that's really cool. There's already a lot you can do with it. A lot of stuff to unlock, including whole alternate game modes and all this different stuff. It's a lot to chew on. And to the gameplay itself, if you don't know, somehow, you're a little monkey or a Sonic in a ball, and you're not really moving, you're not controlling the character, you're tilting the entire stage. And I love the idea. Like, the idea of this game is awesome, and it's awesomely executed, the spectacle is pretty big. Some of these levels are very large, and sometimes you get moving pretty fast, and it's really fun to just see these, like, big towering structures, and and the gameplay it's really cool. It can be really tricky, and like any kind of, like, speed, momentum-based thing, obviously there's a lot of room for, it's a very high skill ceiling. People, I can imagine them getting really good at this game, and of course there's a big emphasis on, score chasing and completing levels quickly and all that stuff. And this is kind of where it loses me, right here. Like, you're always timed, so you gotta beat a level within a time limit. That's already just not quite my thing. And then there are bananas everywhere, and you try to get as many bananas as you can. My whole thing with that, though, is that I'm not a score chaser, as I've gone on about before. And it's kind of like there isn't a whole lot of incentive to get bananas beyond just trying to get that high score. So it's a little bit all or nothing. I kind of wish there was something urging me to get some of them or a certain number. Maybe there is some sort of incentive, but I haven't seen it or reached it yet or something. But for the most part, it's just kind of like, can you get them all? And I know I'm not gonna, So, like, I know I could if I spent a long time, but I'm just kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'll just not worry about getting any of them, because I don't care about scores and that kind of thing. So it's like, if I'm not going to get them all, it doesn't matter at all. So to me, it's really just getting to the goal, and maybe that's not such a bad thing. You know, sometimes getting to the goal itself can be pretty tricky on its own. And I think this is where it really just comes down even more to personal taste. It is fun and it's an interesting concept, but I think just the act of it, of like tilting the stage around, it's a little disorienting. It's a little fiddly. It just causes me more frustration than anything, because when I fail, I fall off and I gotta start all over. It's not like, I don't know, there's not a lot of room for error. And kind of like with the bananas, I know I'm not gonna get them all, so I don't bother. And then it's kind of like just that high skill ceiling itself. I really just don't enjoy it enough to like get really good. I know that's like the entire point. You're trying to see how fast you can do it, how well you can do it, how efficiently you can do it. And it just doesn't grab me enough for me to want to do that. So what I'm left with is a whole lot of stuff that kind of wants me to engage in a certain way, and I'm just not really interested at all. So I kind of just find myself not wanting to play. So that's what I've learned. Monkey Ball's not for me, but it is very cool. I can see that there's so much fun potential there for anybody else, probably most other people. The quality of the game is very much there. The concept is really, really clever. It's really cute. It's very well executed. So many different levels to do, and I could really see people really just getting into this and trying to blast through each other's times and all that stuff. Like, it's a cool game. And when I was kind of done with the story mode, I went and checked out some of the, there's like little party modes, and you can kind of, you know, see how high of a score you can get and post it online or whatever, which again, I'm not really that into that, but you can at least like play, you know, multiplayer with other people. So I checked out some of them. There's like one where you shoot and it's not really, it's kind of okay, but it's not really Monkey Ball. And there's one where it's a boat. I don't know, they're just kind of like, they work fine, but they're not much of a thing. I have heard a lot about Monkey Target, and I can definitely tell that if there's one that I would get into, it's this one right here. You kind of like, you go off a ramp and you glide and you try to land on targets and collect stuff along the way. It's pretty cool. It is difficult though. Like, it's difficult to get anywhere. They drop really, really fast, and you have to kind of tilt in exactly the right way to keep them going. I've actually looked it up, and apparently a lot of people are having trouble with this. The physics don't work the way that they did in the originals, and it's just less good is what I'm hearing, which is a shame, because like, I can see the potential there, at least as a party game. You know, I probably wouldn't be trying to get a high score and post it online, but at least as like playing with friends, I could see this being fun. But yeah, there's something just kind of off about it. It doesn't quite work the way it feels like it's supposed to. I don't know if that's something they'll patch or what, but I don't know. Monkey Target, it's pretty cool, or at least could be pretty cool. So that's Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. It's one of those things where I'm sure anybody who's gonna enjoy that gameplay is gonna have a great time. Tons and tons of content, tons of stuff to unlock, tons of stuff to do with your friends and all that. And, you know, aside from any weird physics issues that have, you know, where it doesn't quite match the experience of the original, I don't know, beyond that, it seems to be pretty great. All these different modes. You can play a lot of the levels like in the exact same form that they were on the original, so there's, I don't know, a lot of different options, but again, I haven't played them all, so I don't even quite get it all. And thanks again to Sega for the game and all the gifts and all that stuff. Really, really awesome. I'm sorry, the game wasn't really my cup of tea, but not everything is for everyone, and so that's okay. So, what do you say? Now we move on to our second game, Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. Oh, sorry, All-Star Brawl, not All Stars. Forgive my ignorance. And actually, speaking of asking forgiveness for my ignorance, I must apologize to this game. When I was first talking about it on Arlocast and stuff, I didn't have the highest of hopes for it. I did not understand its pedigree, the team behind it. I didn't realize it was a whole thing. Ludosity's really good developer. They were doing it. It's a whole thing. They had plans for it. I'm sorry to anybody who's like, hey, don't talk down this game. You were right. And just so you know, just like with Monkey Ball, this is a very casual impression. You know, I'm not gonna be going into like the online play, it's super deep, whatever. I just kind of, you know, got a feel for the game, what I think about it, basically, right off the bat, you got those characters. I mean, it's everything you could want. They know their audience, you know, they know that there's a wide range of people of different ages playing this game. So you got some of the newer stuff, and then you got the stuff for the old fogies like me, you know, the 90s properties, your Ren and Stimpy and Real Monsters and all that. I mean, it's really great. It really is a very wonderful celebration of just pretty much every era of Nickelodeon, and that's really, really great. I mean, come on, it warms my heart. Ren and Stimpy. I was a humongous Ren and Stimpy fan when I was a kid. And you know, Zim is great. Our Real Monsters are great. It's something for everybody. I was not as into SpongeBob. I was a little too old for it, but you know, it's SpongeBob. It's great. Really, really great picks here. Helga from Hey Arnold, there's another one. I loved Hey Arnold when I was a kid. I remember when it came out, and it was really, really great. Nickelodeon was my childhood, you know, so this is definitely a big nostalgia trip. It's the kind of thing I would have killed for when I was a kid. It would have just been mind-blowing. And then, like, and here's the thing, too, like, I really, really, really have to give this game credit, because it's like, you know, we give Sakurai a lot of credit for how much just detail and love they put into every character in Smash. It is totally the same here. Like, absolutely. When I'm playing with characters that I am more familiar with, like Cat Dog, there's another one, like, you know, the ones that I watched a lot as a kid, I can see that it's every single move. It's just like Smash. Every little move that they do, every little animation, it all comes from real bits in the show. Sometimes, like, I can remember the specific scenes when that happened, you know, especially like with Ren and Stimpy. Like, it's all very lovingly crafted. Just the facial animations, like the faces that they pull, are super duper funny. They all, I don't know, they're all familiar. It's you know, Powdered Toast Man, there's another one. Like, every little move that he does, like, pretty much all of it comes directly from the cartoons, and it's really, really great. I cannot say enough just how lovingly crafted these things are. And then you got cool stages too. Everybody's got stages representing them. You know, you got Space Madness from Ren and Stimpy, and I didn't play on all the stages, but I played on a few of the ones that you know, that hit me. I will say about the stages, they're nice. This is just a design thing. Most of the ones I played seem to be pretty small. It seems like they're really trying to encourage a more hectic play style. They're kind of small, a lot of ways to fall, sometimes a lot of hazards and stuff, which I thought was pretty interesting. One thing that does negatively impact the authenticity is the fact that none of the characters are really voiced, and I get it, at least none of the ones that I saw. I totally understand it. Getting all the voices and the rights for all the voices, and just getting, you know, the right vocal samples from all these different voice actors. A lot of them might not even be in the industry anymore. Like, I get it. It would have been too much of a thing. I know why. But I will say, it is disappointing. You know, it would have added to the authenticity a whole lot to actually hear them. It's a little weird seeing all your favorite characters and they're all fighting, but just completely silently. You know, you don't even get, like, little noises or anything. It's strange. It's a bummer, but, you know, like I said, I get it. As for the gameplay itself, I mean, you know, I'm not going to say anything new that anyone else hasn't said, but basically it's clearly a big, like, I don't want to say a Smash clone, but it's a platform fighter. It clearly takes its biggest inspiration from Smash. It is trying to sort of be a Smash alternative, you know, which is fine. But it does have some key differences, which make it a little bit harder to jump into, just because I've played so much Smash throughout my life. But at the same time, I can already appreciate those differences because they really help it kind of establish its own identity and kind of open up some new possibilities. Instead of special attacks and regular attacks, now you've got special and then like light and strong attacks. So you've got like your regular attacks are kind of split into two, and the strong attacks kind of act like Smash attacks, except without the need to, like, you know, flick the stick or whatever, which is nice. It feels really good. It's the sort of thing I could see myself really coming to appreciate. It's just another little thing, gives it its own identity. You know, you're spreading all your attacks throughout these 3 buttons instead of 2. And it also means that you're able to do those strong attacks in midair instead of like, you know, having to be grounded to do a smash attack or whatever. So that feels really good. And then you can hold, I think it's ZL to like remain in one direction, you know, so that you can't turn. Which is interesting. It's not something I would have expected from a fighting game like this, but it really helps because at least like most of the characters I've used, maybe even all of them, have a projectile of some kind. So the, you know, projectiles seem to be pretty common. So now you can, you know, spam your projectiles while staying in one direction. It's pretty nice. Perhaps my favorite thing though is, you know how like in Smash, you know, you got the, you know, the block button, and if you do it in midair, you do like a midair dodge. In this one, you've got a block, but then if you do it in midair, you get more of a dash. Like it actually like pretty much no matter what character it is, everybody can dash in any direction they want in midair. And I love this. I'm always talking about how I love characters with a lot of midair control. I like to be able to control where I'm going. And the fact that that's baked into every single character here, like the potential is huge. Like I could see people really getting good at this, and just, I don't know, you can control yourself in the air better, so like everybody can utilize that. There's just a lot of room to develop that as a skill, and it especially helps in these smaller, more hectic stages where, you know, recovery is a bit easier. You know, there's less of an emphasis on just like, you know, getting them to accidentally fall off. You really got to knock them off, because like recovery moves tend to be really, really good. You got this midair dash, and you know, and all that. And a lot of little things really make this a really nice package. Like, again, I haven't gone into like online, I haven't played with like a bunch of players, but everything I've seen so far, performance has been really good, really, really smooth. It seems really nice and polished. And then like, you know, they're trying to cater to like the, you know, the fighter enthusiast, because in the practice mode, you've got all these really cool little options. You can enable show hitboxes, like you can see every single piece of the hitboxes of every character, and then you can even go frame by frame. Like you just like fight and advance. It's a little hard to do because you gotta do the move while hitting the plus button to advance it, but like you can study your own frame data right here in the game without having to look into other resources or anything. It's right there in the practice menu, which is really cool. Oh, and another thing I noticed, when you're selecting a character, you can, this is great. I love this. Options, people, options right there in the character. You don't have to dig into the menu or create a profile or anything. You're selecting the character, you can go down to controls and you can change the controls, like whatever buttons you want to, you know, between Y, B, and A, what you want to be your different attack buttons, change them on the fly, right there, done, super quick. Anybody can do it in a few seconds every time they pick up a controller, and I really appreciate that. And I got nothing else to say other than I don't know what the consensus is. I don't know if this is gonna be a big thing in the fighting community, if it's really viable. But from my casual perspective, it's really cool. It seems like it has a lot of potential. It seems like just I don't know, it seems to deliver a lot that fighting games, fighting fans would probably like. There's the moves are good, the characters are good. I don't know. Everything about it seems pretty darn cool to me. It is all too easy to dismiss any sort of licensed game like this, especially one that takes inspiration from another very popular game, but it feels to me like they nailed it. And that, my friends, is the end of my impressions double feature. Did you like this? Is it good to have 2 games in one? Does that just make it weird? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you think about all these games. Tell me how wrong I am for not really being a fan of Monkey Ball. It's cool, I can see how good it is. It's a good game. It's just not for me. It's not for me personally, okay? Oh, and also, thanks to the people managing the Nickelodeon game. They also gave me a code. I got a free code for that too. Thank you to them. Thank you to Sega for the game and the gifts. And thank you to everybody. Thank you to you for watching. Thank you to everybody in the world. Goodbye.